Our next speaker, again from China, this time not vocational training, but the academic training education. And it's a pleasure to invite Professor Yongqian, again, forgive me for my pronunciation, from North China Electric Power University, one of the most important universities in that area in China, who will speak about the development of wind energy engineering education in China. And we also all know that China has made also great progress in not only training the technicians, but also the engineers. Professor Liu.
Okay, thank you, Professor Stephen. And it's my great honor to have this opportunity to introduce something about wind power education in China. Can you hear? Can you see the screen or yes, my sharing screen?
Just use a presentation mode, then.
Oh, okay, good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, excellent.
So I'm from North China Electric Power University, School of Renewable Energy. So this university is main focus on the energy and electric power, and we have 36,000 students, most of them working on energy and electric power related majors. So it's very big in terms of the electric power engineering. And we have the first undergraduate major on wind energy power engineering from 2006 and first renewable energy school in China from 2007. We also have a state key laboratory on alternative electric power system with renewable sources. It's the only such a national key laboratory. So today I want to share you about the wind power education development in China. And firstly, and the 2006 is a very milestone year for the wind power development because January 1st that year, renewable energy law for People's Republic of China became to effect, and it's the starting booming point for the Chinese wind power industry. And in that year, and sending by the Chinese Wind Energy Association and by Professor He, I also participate in Canada. If somebody remember, that is Wind Energy, World Wind Energy Institute, chaired by Mr. Preben Magod. And although it doesn't work very well now, but we should, I think it's also a very good example to show the international collaboration on the wind power training and education. So also at the same year, our university, supported by the Chinese government and Chinese industry, especially Chinese Wind Energy Association, we established the first undergraduate program on wind. We call Wind Energy and Power Engineering. In 2007, we established the Renewable Energy School at our university. And 2009, we have the PhD program and a master program on renewable and clean energy, including wind. And 2011, Ministry of Education of China established a new undergraduate major called New Energy Science and Engineering. And our wind energy power engineering is included in that. So until now, all over China, there is 58 doctorate degree program and master degree 12 in Chinese universities to offer wind-related programs. So from 2006, we have 30 students on undergraduate, and now in China, there are 118 universities have the courses on new energy science and engineering. Most of them have the wind courses. So the students in China enrolled in renewable in this year is more than 10,000. So next, I want to show you something about the program development. Before we know that, first we should mention the characteristics of wind power technology. First, it's highly interdisciplinary. For wind, for example, it involving the aerodynamics, mechanical, electrical, automation materials, and also it's high and new technology, and with high risks, we know that. And also the development technology is very rapid. So the update of knowledge, teaching material, even the working position, the working methods of the industry also changed very fast. And also this industry have a high dependency on the policy and the regulations. Until now, we need the incentive measures to help the wind energy industry. So the objective for our undergraduate program for wind, we have mainly, I have the following point. First, we should educate them as have a high sense of social responsibility and solid theoretical foundation and ability of multidisciplinary innovation and international vision. So, as higher education on engineering in this world, there is the paradox and between the general education and professional education, which is the focus is different. For example, for the general education, they normally don't care about too much about the skills and the capacities, and mainly care about their fundamental and their liberal arts and thinking, the way of thinking. But for the professional education, we are focused on more for future work oriented. So how to build courses for wind power? So we invite a lot of advices from our experts, and especially so Professor He also among the experts who give a lot of good advice. So we should the wind power education program curriculum development. We think we should merge the two. That means we should have the combination of general education and also the professional education. So our courses are incorporated in the 3 blocks. One is we call it foundation, solid foundation for further study and research like math, physics, and English. Second is about some systemic understanding of fundamental knowledge of wind power, like aerodynamics, mechanical, electrical, and control. And the third block is specialized courses, including which means professional knowledge and capacities or wind power engineering, like wind resources, wind farm, and wind turbine electric system, and automation, etc. So that's the structure of our undergraduate program. And so, and in addition to the undergraduate program, we also offer master, PhD, PhD program. So these three just together just form our higher education system on wind power in China. In terms of a bachelor degree, we just try to keep the balance between the general education and professional education. For the master degree, we try to emphasize on innovation and entrepreneurship. For PhD, we try to cultivate the originality on wind power science and engineering. And we also focus on the capacity building. So in order to ensure the quality of the education, we should have the quality of the capacity. So first, the textbooks and teaching materials development. So we developed special kit set of books on the wind power engineering, like principle of the wind power, and wind power generating system design and manufacturing, and electrical system for wind farms, and wind turbine monitor and control, and wind power plant, and also other also aerodynamics and books is still under development. Second, we try to have the resources sharing. And now we have the China Renewable Energy Education Union. We have more than 100 university as the members, and also include some companies. So the idea is to construct and share the teaching materials and resources together. And also we do the teaching research to try to improve our way of teaching. And the fourth way, we just try to, for the practical engineering practical education. So internships. Actually, many famous companies are our internship basis, including Goldwind and some biggest wind power developers. So for the employment from the arena, we know that the global demand for wind power in 2018 is 1.1 million, and among them, 44% of wind power jobs is from China. So we can see that employment for our that means half a million employees. So the demand for China for wind jobs is very high, and also actually our students also work for the foreign companies, even work abroad. So I think so the employment rate is very high. So third part, I just give several points for the development trend of wind power education in China. First, we can say that the wind power industry will grow sustainably in the long term. Just several days ago, our President Xi just addressed in the United Nations, and he just promised that we will achieve carbon neutral by 2060. So I think, and we in the next 40 years, the Chinese wind industry will grow sustainably. So the demand for talents on wind power in China and the world will keep growing. So we think the education and the university, not only in China, we think that all over the world, the wind power engineering education have very bright future. And more and more Chinese university, and especially top universities, they are strengthening their wind power education programs. So the China has the possibility to supply the first class wind power education for the world. And also the international education collaborations are necessary to meet the wind power industry demand for talents. So we know, as we heard from the former speakers, I really feel very glad that we have very similar feeling. So international collaboration is very important. So in conclusion, and first, I think the wind power education should follow the combination of general education and professional education in terms of curriculum development. And second, for the higher education system in China, we already have the capacity to supply qualified talents with bachelor, master, and PhD. And third, I think the Chinese government, CWEA, Chinese Wind Energy Association, and wind power industries and international organizations plays very important role on the wind power education development. So in the past 15 years, I think without those help, I think we cannot create such a kind of new curriculum. The last point, we just propose to establish a coordination mechanism to strengthen the wind power education collaboration. For example, our dream, I think it's a dream, that the World Wind Energy Institute that we signed in Canada, and maybe it's a good solution. So if it's possible, I want to contribute my work. So thank you. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Liu. And that is really an impressive also story that you're telling us about the development. Now you said you have 10,000 students in the field of wind power. That is indeed a great achievement. And also, I mean, just how to set up all these curricula and organize that all these students have the professors that can teach them are knowledgeable enough. And your dream, that's one purpose, of course, is this webinar that we discuss and see how we are now around the world, and whether we can jointly form new initiatives and come to such new forms, or maybe indeed revived forms of collaboration.
Revitalize.
Yes, let's try that. And after, I think, listening to our speakers here, indeed, I think we already hear now what the different needs are. And from the poll that we are making, and this is the first time we try this, I already see we have many experts amongst us, and people have also different experience. I think that's important to share that kind of experience.